Hey everybody, good morning. I just wanted to give a quick postscript to the service video. We both hope that it was a help in our worshipping together still as a church community whilst we are doing life in that sense online. I realised as I was reflecting on the service material this morning and reading on in the book of Nehemiah that I made a mistake in the talk. I referred to Nehemiah serving or being a slave of King Nebuchadnezzar. Well, that's not right because Nebuchadnezzar wasn't the king at the time, so it'd make it very difficult. It was actually King Artaxerxes. So a great lesson for a preacher, even when they're tired, to double check the notes. But I think also for all of us that whatever talks we listen to, let's always seek to check them out, that they are accurate, of course. As I say, I was reading on in Nehemiah and there was a thought that struck me about prayer, which I think in a way connects with what I shared in the service video. And I just want to read a few verses from Nehemiah chapter 2 and just make a brief couple of comments here right now. In the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was brought for him, I took the wine and gave it to the king. I'd not been sad in his presence before, so the king asked me, "Why does your face look so sad when you're not ill? This can be nothing but sadness of heart." I was very much afraid, but I said to the king, "May the king live forever. Why should my face not look sad when the city where my fathers are buried lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire?" The king said to me, "What is it you want?" Then I prayed to the King of heaven, and I answered the king, "If it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favour in his sight, let him send me to the city in Judah where my fathers are buried, so I can rebuild it." Then the king, with the queen sitting beside him, asked me, "How long will your journey take, and when will you get back?" It pleased the king to send me, so I set a time. As I said in the service video, Nehemiah was the cupbearer to the king. So we had to check that the wine and so on wasn't poisoned. It also meant that he would be standing very close to the king very often. So in all the sadness and the mourning that Nehemiah was feeling deep in his heart about Jerusalem and the plight of those back in his homeland, he couldn't hide this. And maybe he was hoping the king wouldn't notice, but clearly the king does, because the king asks him about it. "Why is your face looking so sad when you're not ill?" To be sad in the king's presence was an absolute taboo. That was something which was not permitted. And you might even be risking having your life taken from you for doing so. So it's not surprising here to read, "I was very much afraid." I expect we all would be in such a situation. And the king questions him further though. "What is it you want?" Nehemiah's really on the spot now. Ever feel like that? It says, "I prayed to the God of heaven." I don't think he had the opportunity to say to Artaxerxes, "Excuse me, I just need to take half an hour out to go and praise God and to seek his will and pray." No, this was probably just a very rapid prayer. "Father in heaven, please help me. Lord, give me wisdom. Lord, help. Show me what to say." That type of prayer. And you know, I think we're all in those types of situations at times. Maybe you will be this week. And suddenly the pressure feels on in one way or another. And we need wisdom. And can we be people who have that presence of mind to actually, even if it is just very short, just in our heads to say, "Lord, please help me." Maybe we feel overwhelmed in some way at the moment and we're finding it hard to pray. We're thinking, "Oh, I couldn't even pray for 3 or 4 minutes, so what's the point?" Well, just pray something short. And that's okay. "Lord, I thank you for who you are. I want to trust you at this time. Lord, I don't understand what's going on. Please show me." Or whatever it might be. Then I prayed to the God of heaven, right in the midst of a pressurized time. And maybe it just needs to be short. And it just struck me in reading these few verses this morning that maybe 1 or 2 people need to hear that this week. that you're beating yourself up, that you feel you can't pray for a long time, and you don't feel very articulate, and you don't feel very deeply theological about it, and you don't feel you've got the right words. But as I said in the service video, the God of heaven, the creator of heaven and earth, he calls us to pray. He invites us to pray. And it doesn't have to be long worded. Come as you are, in whatever situation you face this week. I hope that postscript's maybe just a help for one or two people in these days ahead. Let's keep seeking to encourage each other, look out for each other, pray for one another, and reach out to those outside our church community as well. And those who are around, our neighbours, friends, family, fellow students, colleagues, whoever it might be. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good week. Bye for now.